In the previous video, I upgraded my soldering station by adding a fumes extractor. It's installed in a swivel arm, and I can switch it on and off using this little button. And you see it's working just fine. It's powered by 12 volts DC. Pretty handy. So the next thing I wanted to do was to add some lighting to my workstation. Now, I have some LED strips lying around. Well, I have this LED strip lying around. So I've decided that this would be perfect. It's a 12 volt LED strip. It fits in with a currently used power supply. I was originally thinking of having some overarching kind of installation. As you can see me pointing it out in the video. But after installing the swivel arm, I thought, well, why not just extend this and use it like those 70s reading lamps. So I just started fiddling about a bit and seeing, thinking, well, will it work or not? So in the process, I've just decided to switch on my LED strip and position it where it would be installed at the end. So I have it there switched on, and now I'm just checking where does the light go. Will it actually do the work? And I was convinced that it would actually do the work. It would light up the area where I was most likely to be doing some soldering. So with that in mind, I then just picked up some scrap wood, and I've measured it such that when the swivel arm is folded, it won't go over the length of the worktop. And in order to do that, I just had to cut it. And there it is, it's been cut now. Now, I was just checking what's the length, how many LEDs can I get in here. And then I've just decided to find out, well, how many strips can I put on the side by side. Then I picked up a bolt that I found in my spares box, and because this bolt was too long, I just cut it to size. So here I'm just taking some measurements of where to drill the hole for my extension, and drilling the hole to this extension arm. So nothing special here, just put the bolt with a wing nut and then tighten the wing nut to lock it in place and loosen it to undo it. Now I'm just test fitting where do the LEDs go, how does it feel to use, and I've decided to then use my angle grinder with a sanding disc and just sand up all of the wood to make sure that it's as shiny as possible and the LED strips will glue into it as nicely as they can. So here I've just glued the LED strips to the wood bit, and I picked up some spare red and black wire that I picked up from undoing bits and bobs and older projects, and just soldered everything together to light it up. And at the end I've used some sellotape just to give a bit of extra gripping power to the LED strips. The sellotape also gives a bit of a diffusing effect, which is nice. It's pretty negligible, but it's there, so there's no harm in it, and the LED strips don't get hot enough to cause any issues. So now that I have everything set up, I'm just routing the wires, and I decided to route the wires in a way that they would work under any folding position, and then use the same switch to power up both the LEDs and the extraction fan, and then put the switch back into its slot, and just testing what does it feel like to use. So at this point I just grabbed my staple gun and made sure that the wires are all routing correctly so they're not flopping about while I'm working on something else and not taking the risk of damaging them. So with that in mind, I now have a worktop with extraction and lights. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content, just subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you soon.